morning, y'all. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you taking time out of y'all's busy schedule to stop in and see what it is I'm up to. Stuff out of the way, maybe reduce some of that glare. I thought maybe looking down the road would be a little bit better than watching my face babble away as I rant and rage. So I think I'm going to end up naming this video when I post it Ride and Rant, or Ranting and Riding, something. Welcome to the suck. It's an old military phrase. It's kind of the way I feel at the moment. But, you know, you gotta... Life sucks, but you gotta suck it up. Keep on sucking it up until it gets better. I don't foresee it getting better for quite a while, but just 2 days ago, we brought the old miss back to the hospital to get some work done. The doctor recommended. He wanted to hook her up with some diuretics, get some fluids off of her, check her, make sure, you know, all of her other things stayed where they needed to be, and potassium and sodium levels and all that stuff. So then yesterday, he recommended that we talk to palliative care, which is basically they just, you know, they try to keep her comfortable when we stop doing the actual chemo treatments. And he said that we should talk to hospice. Well, that's a step we've been putting off, because it means that the inevitable is that much closer. And if we could avoid it, we wanted to avoid it. I don't know that we're going to be able to avoid it much longer, but the palliative care people came by yesterday after I had left to go home. And they talked to my daughter-in-law and, you know, gave her this information, and basically they scared her, telling her that we only had a small window of time to get the old miss to come home if she wanted to come home and die at home. That if we didn't get the paperwork all signed by the end of day yesterday, then we'd miss our window. And I didn't know what they were talking about. What window? You know? I talked to 3 of the prominent doctors there at the hospital just a couple of hours before. This is an oncologist, the head of the internal medicine, and a doctor for kidney specialists. And all those were on board that, you know, she was going to get this treatment and be home by Monday or Tuesday at the latest. They didn't foresee any imminent peril. I mean, of course, we're not promised tomorrow. It can happen at any point in time, but there's no reason to suspect that, you know, the old miss is on that last step. You know, okay, she's standing on a couple of banana peels. She can still walk and take a couple steps away from it. That's basically what the doctors are hoping to do. They want to get her more comfortable and maybe give her a couple of extra weeks. So, but hospice, palliative care and hospice come in and they start throwing these terms around, and they scared my daughter-in-law, who in turn scared my daughter and my son. And they had the palliative care nurse call me, and I was asking questions. You know, well, what doctor said that she, you know, needs to be discharged today? None of the doctors that I just talked to, none of the doctors I talked to said that she was in imminent danger. And she kept pushing and pushing that we had to do it yesterday, and I was like, no. And she wanted me to take down the information for whatever hospice she had some information. And I told her I don't need it. I have several people that I know, that will call on the ones that we've used in the past. Well, she got all bent out of shape, called my daughter-in-law, or walked into the room and told my daughter-in-law that I blew her off, that I wasn't interested. Well, I wasn't interested in her information if she couldn't give me the proper information. A doctor at the hospital said. What doctor? One of our doctors? What's changed in the past 2 or 3 hours that's taken her from being a candidate for her treatment to having to be rushed home so she could die? I mean, if that's the case, then I need to be back up there. Who said it? So this went back and forth for a while. My son's calling me and screaming and hollering, and well, not screaming and hollering, but he was adamant that I get back up there and sign these papers by the end of the day. And my daughter left work, came over to talk to me. And I tried telling them both what the story was, but they kept repeating what this nurse practitioner told them. And I was like, I don't really care what that nurse said. We have a couple of prominent doctors that said differently. I'm going by what the doctor said until the doctors tell me different. So this went on for a while. The hospice got there, and they were all they ordered beds and medical equipment and all this other stuff to come to the house. They were adamant that they were going to take her as soon as we signed the paper. And I was on the phone with my daughter at that point in time. She was up there dealing with them, and I said, "What doctor has said she needs to go? Has her main doctor said that she's ready to be discharged? That the fight is over?" And they kept saying, "Well, we have a call into him. We have a call into him. He's going to come up and talk to you before we leave. Just sign this paper." No, I'm not signing that paper. I'm going to call Dr. Khan. Well, they can call his office. They can call his medical service. I have his cell phone number. Because of her condition. And he knows how the hospitals are. So if there's any difficulty at all, he wants us to call, and he will smooth out the ridges. And I called him, and I asked him, I said, "What's going on, Doc?" And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, hospice is there telling me that she's taking a turn for the worse, and she needs to come home now, and she's going to die at home." And he said, "I haven't heard anything about that." I said, "Well, that's what they're up there telling the kids right now." And luckily, my son walked in as I was talking to him, and the doctor reiterated what he had told me, and told while my son was listening, that her best option for some quality time and maybe some extension, there's no guarantee, but maybe some extension, is to carry through with the palliative care that he's offering her now. Excuse me a minute. To get her comfortable, get some of the fluids off of her, make her more comfortable, so that she can come home and, maybe be a little bit more active, and just have a little bit better quality of life for the next couple of weeks that she had left. So then he got we called my other daughter and whatnot, and said that, he was going to leave his practice, which is only a short distance from the hospital, and he would be there shortly. He was going to do a reevaluation. To the best of his knowledge, and of course everything's on computers nowadays, he was looking at the computer and he didn't see any changes. To the best of his knowledge, she was going to stay in the hospital for the next couple of days. And And that's where we're at now. Basically, we told hospice to step back, stop being so greedy. Like I said, I know they have a job to do. I know they deal with patients that are in denial all the time. God knows I wish I could be in denial. I know that it's going to happen, but it's not going to happen right this minute. And she's not getting discharged. When she gets discharged and, and hospice wants to step in, well, that's fine, but we're still not giving up treatment. And hospice will either deal with that or they won't. So, if they don't, not a problem. We've already got a hospital bed. We got people to staff around her 24/7. So, I don't know. I was angry at hospice. I didn't think they were playing fair. They were throwing in information that they weren't backing up. Like a doctor said. And at one point, when I was actually talking to hospice on the phone, the old miss was in the background saying, "I want to go home. I want to die at home." Well, they had scared her. I mean, that really ticked me off. I mean, seriously, that I was about living. And then they said, "Well, here, listen to what your wife has to say." And she said that. Well, she's not in her right mind. She doesn't know what's best for her, unfortunately. The morphine affects her. And they had basically given her the idea that she'd be better off at home. So that was kind of what she was saying. Like I said, that made me mad. I'm still a little TO'd about it. And then to try to use that to pluck my heartstrings to get me to go ahead and say, yes, do the work. We won't wait for the doctor. I'll go on your word. No, I'm sorry. You're just a nurse practitioner. I don't care how many of these patients you've been through, or you've helped, or whatever. My doctor says differently, and until my doctor tells me different, we're going to follow what he has to say. It's tough, people. It's really tough trying to figure out what's the best thing for her and what I think that she would want. I mean, I'm pretty certain I know what she wants. We've been together a long time. I know what we have discussed in the past. I know she wants to be home. I know she would rather be home right now than in the hospital. But I also know that being in the hospital right now is the best thing we can do for her right now. So, we are pulling into P1 parking at Baptist Medical Center, downtown Jacksonville. Welcome to the suck. It's going to get suckier. I can't tell you people how much I appreciate you just being out there, caring, lending me support. I won't deny it's a tough road. Little gems of I think I will park. This is close enough. I don't have to use. There's all kinds of handicap parking right there. This is actually close enough. I don't have to use the handicap parking. Ooh. Those headlights, though. I don't know if y'all can see me now. Well, that might be a little bit better. Maybe not. Oh, God. Oh. I need to get inside now. So, let me know what you think, people. Give me a thumbs down or a thumbs up. leave me a comment wherever it is y'all happen to leave comments on your internet access device of choice. There probably won't be any links because I'm just going to post this off the hospital's Wi-Fi. I may add some later or whatever, I don't know. If you're interested in looking for my Facebook or other videos, look on one of my other videos. That's all I can say. This is the first of probably going to be a few coming up, riding and rants. I think I've done one or two similar, but welcome to the suck. Till I see y'all again, I hope you have a fandoculous day. Sláinte, y'all. Bye-bye. Oh, come on, camera.